So now you're enlisted, you're in the Air Force
Hmm.
versus any other service, and you are a Russian language student and eventually becomes an operator of some sort.
Well, on the way to being drafted by the Army, I was going to I was having a physical, and I talked to a guy in the Air Force, and it turned out he was the Air Force recruiter. And he said, Cecil, if you want to, you can join the Air Force. It's not too late. And if you join the Air Force, then you can learn a career. And I'm thinking, wow, maybe I could be a plumber or HVAC or a carpenter or something. And then he started telling me about the different Air Force careers, and I thought, aviation mechanics, electronics, yeah, I'll join the Air Force. So I joined the Air Force and got sent to basic training at Lackland like every other enlistee. But when I got down there, they said, Cecil, your test scores, they were really good. And I was honored. I did well in high school. And because of your test scores, we are required to have you take a language test. And so, yeah, sure. Well, they pulled me out of the training for a while, and I took this language test for a language that doesn't exist. They made up a language, and then they had you use different ways that you could manipulate it to have meaning for it. And I thought, oh, that's good. The problem is I'd never had a language. I'd never taken a language. My native language was hillbilly, and that's the only thing I knew. I was born in West Virginia, and I just had this heavy accent. And I said, sure, I'll take it. But I didn't feel very confident about that one. I've always been good with tests, but that one didn't make any sense. But later on, there was a list came out, and I was the only one on the list. They said I had been selected to be a language student at Syracuse University. So while
You
all
go
my
to college. You go
to
to
go to
college.
college, yeah. I mean, talk about turnaround for a guy who just only had a dream of going to college someday. I'm going to college. But all my friends left, and I got assigned to the Goon Squad. I don't know if you ever heard of the
No,
Goon
sir.
Squad,
The
but
Goon Squad.
that's after basic training when you don't have an assignment. You work with a rake and sometimes a hoe and with trimmers on hedges, and you just and sometimes I was working with putting these big green mats on golf courses, just all kinds of stuff. But finally, my assignment came in, and I was actually assigned to Syracuse University to a special unit. It was the actual university, and I got actual college credit, and I got a degree. But it was a one-year program. It was intensive. I took classes all day long,
Wow.
sometimes on Saturday too, and it was a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week immersion into Russian.
Oh, wow.
And honestly, I didn't know I had a gift for languages. I do, but I didn't know it. They picked up on it,
Wow.
and I started. I started just speaking Russian every moment I could. I got to the point where I could think Russian. I never lost my accent, but I got sent down to Goodfellow Air Force Base to learn how to intercept the communications from other countries, especially Russia. And then I was sent to Turkey. And in Turkey, I monitored Russian communications at the missile launch areas across the Black Sea. It was a really interesting job. And after that, then I was sent to National Security Agency, where
Okay.
I was an interpreter still, but more than interpreter at that point. I became an intelligence analyst. In fact, I was offered a lot of jobs when I got out of there because I'd gotten good at what I was doing. It sounds braggadocious. I just had. I had no idea, but it's amazing the twists and turns of your life.
Yes.
Some of them are negative, some of them are positive, but they're all progression.
Right.